What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, we're starting off with some Alchemy Neon Kamigawa spoilers. These ones were spoiled during the Neon Dynasty Championship. So first off, we've got Mothrider Cavalry. There's a cycle of these I've noticed. They're all mythic, they cost 4, and they can have their cost reduced by 2 colorless. In this case, it'll only cost you 2 planes if you have no other creature cards in your hand, or if the only other creature card in your hand is also named Mothrider Cavalry. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. So a flying anthem effect that's non-legendary that can be cast for 2. You could potentially, for 4 mana, if you have 2 of these in your hand, play both of them. If you read this correctly. That's pretty strong, but it's just weird that it's in a tribe where the whole tribe's point is that one creature is attacking all the time, but this is like an anthem effect for like a go wide deck or something. It's kind of strange tribe choice, but otherwise really strong card, I think. Then we've got Kami of Mourning, a 3 mana 3/2 spirit, black spirit. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control or creature card in your graveyard perpetually gains whenever a creature you control with greater mana value than this card dies. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So you make these like reanimation loops. That's pretty cool. And nice that it's a black spirit. There's this other one that has that's from Kamigawa. It's an uncommon. Allows you to... I've got my client open here behind. You guys see me doing weird things with my eyeballs. It's because I'm looking. Yeah, we've got the Grave Lighter, 3 mana 2/2. And there's also this Unforgiving one. Whenever it attacks, return target creature card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of modified creatures you control. Interesting. Oh well, let's see if those will end up together in some deck. Black Spirits, Tribal. But anyway, next up we've got a Kami of Bamboo Groves. So this is another one of these uncommons. They're kind of done in such a way to like onboard new players into the Alchemy formats, so it's not so hard to craft them, and they're instantly good in a deck, and you can go and play Alchemy. And I think this is one of those because it's good. It's an enchantment creature. It's a spirit. It's a 1-drop. So a lot of important things there. And when it enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tab. So straight away ramp. You like play it on turn 1, play out another land straight away. The next turn you can play a 3-drop on your turn 2. I think that's really strong. And if you've got 2 of them in hand, on turn 3 you can channel another one. And what happens when you channel Kami of Bamboo Groves? You conjure 2 cards named Forest into your hand. So just poof, two new forests. This in like the deck with the new Azusa Saga. You know the one I mean, that also allows you to play additional lands, and then you could play the new green Dragon Spirit that when it dies, it cares about how many creatures, how many lands you have. There's kind of this land matters enchantments deck that's forming up. That I can't wait to try on day 1, so stay tuned for that. Then we've got Better Offer, control deck kind of card. Put a random creature card with mana value X or less from target opponent's library onto the battlefield under your control. In the opponent's got creature heavy deck, you're the control deck. You get to now steal the opponent, like a random creature out of the opponent's library, and put it into your battlefield. Unfortunately, it doesn't maintain its power and toughness, although that could be fortunate, because you might get something that's weaker, but that has a really good board effect. And then you get to give it more stats than it would usually have, because you paid more into the X, And then again, perpetually gains Ward 1, which is also quite nice. So I think this is going to be really annoying in the control decks, guys. Get ready. And there's a lot of these like weird steal effects now, including the Blue Invoke, which I haven't played with yet. If you guys haven't seen that, the Blue Invoke also steals a creature. So there's starting to be some good ones. Then here's the green one of the cycle, Forceful Cultivator. Can be cast for 2 if there are no lands in your hand. This looks like it should go together with this card. When Forceful Cultivator enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. More ramp. Nice. I already have a few ideas, a brewing in my mind for where this is going to go. But then we got some sweet support for the... I did feel like the vehicles deck did need one other good 1-drop alongside the current Fox Pilot. Now we got another Fox Pilot, which also crews vehicles as though its power were 2 greater. So, and then whenever it enters the battlefield, you conjure a card named Dragonfly Suit into your hand. So Dragonfly Suit is one of the cards from Kamigawa. It's this thing. It's just a 3/2 flying with crew 1. I think that's actually pretty sweet. Like straight away, you play it on turn 1, it poops out a thing that then the very next turn you can attack for 3 in the air. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then some more support looks like for the equipment reconfigure deck. 2 mana 2/2 first strike with really cheap reconfigure cost, and it gives the equipped creature first strike. And then at the beginning of the upkeep, a random artifact in your card perpetually gains the spell cost 1 less to cast. Busted. Like, you guys remember the Whelp, the fearsome Whelp in the Dragons deck in Alchemy? They learned their lesson. They didn't make it at the beginning of your end turn. It's at the beginning of upkeep. So at least it's not that busted. And that was it for the March 13th. But then we got a bunch of new ones ready today. So let's just jump right straight into them. It is getting very late and I am very tired. Fragment Reality. 1 mana, instant, exile target non-token artifact, creature, or enchantment. You're like, what? That's insane! But its controller puts a random creature card with lesser mana value from their library onto the battlefield tab. So quite a downside. Typical white removal things like that, where the opponent gets to do something that's a little bit annoying to you. But potentially, you know, there's some decks where the opponent maybe has no creatures, or where they have nothing that's of a lesser mana value in their library to bring into play. So then it's really good. 1 mana, instant, exile, artifact, creature, enchantment. It's pretty good. Next up, we got another Cami. So it's a Cami of Transience. Now we got the Cami of Transmutation. Probably going to go in the same deck because this one's crazy. I read it in Facebook earlier. When it enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield, you get to choose 1. Each permanent card in your hand perpetually becomes an artifact in addition to its other types, or each permanent card in your hand perpetually becomes an enchantment in addition to its other types. I think this will allow you to, in the first example I can think of, is like in the Cami of Transience, you also play Cami of Transmutation, and you go for like a more creature-heavy Enchantment Matters deck, which you usually wouldn't do because you need to have enchantments to proc all of your enchantment synergies. Now those creatures become enchantments because of the Cami of Transmutation, and you can get away with running a little bit more creatures in your enchantment deck, which could be quite nice. And I like that it's when it enters and leaves, so you can keep refreshing the new cards you've drawn into enchantments or artifacts, and for that matter, it could be... This is going to see some play, I think. Bellows Breath, Ogre. 3 mana, 3/3, Ogre Shaman, starting intensity of 1. Whenever it attacks, it deals damage equal to its intensity to any target. So the first time it attacks, 1 damage. Second time it attacks, no. And then after the attack, it perpetually, after you deal the damage, then it will perpetually increase the intensity by 1. So then the following turn is 2 damage, the following turn is 3 damage. You just keep attacking and the damage goes up. And you can do it to any target. So eventually you can start doing it to the things that the opponent gets in the way of it as blockers, and then you can start going face. It's pretty sweet. It'd be nice if it would, I can find a way to grow it a bit bigger. Then we got the Pathlighter. Another one of these drafting from the spell books, which I'd honestly hope they'd gotten rid of from Alchemy, because it's my least favorite Alchemy mechanic. But the Boseiju Pathlighter is a 2 mana and a green for a human rogue 3/2, and when it ETBs, you draft a card from its spellbook, and it appears as though it's all of these lands over here, which is quite nice. A lot of like good utility lands. Boop, 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 into your hand, and on you go. Might see some play. And then the blue one from the cycle. It's a ninja, of course. Its cost can be reduced to 2 if there are no instant or sorcery cards in your hand. It's quite nice. The problem with ninja deck a lot these days that I found, one of the problems, there's many problems, but one of the problems is that you can't run that many instants and sorceries, and like Drown in the Lock used to be, you know, a removal spell and a counter spell, so it could kind of like fill 2 slots in one. We don't have Drown in the Lock in standard anymore, so then you have to put both removal and counters in your ninja Dimir tempo deck, and that takes away slots that you could have ninjas in, and it makes the deck not as good. So this card, when it enters the battlefield, you get to return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a way of like the fact that you can't run as many instants or sorceries can be mitigated by the fact that you keep getting those back from your graveyard. And then if this guy would die, you get to shuffle it into your library instead, which is also quite nice. But probably my least favorite of the 3 so far. Then we've got the Junkyard Scrapper, another Goblin Artificer, going to go in my like Anvil deck. Whenever a non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, exile a random non-land artifact card with a lesser mana value from your library. You may cast that card until the end of your next turn. So you play your Circuit Mender for 3. You exile only a Cult Anvil at random because you got a 2-drop in there, and then you can play it for 2 more mana. Oh, and okay, it's till your next, so you don't need the 5 mana. It's until your next turn. So that solves it. That's cool. That's cool. Card advantage for the artifact deck. That's super cool. I like it. Definitely going to test that out in my, what's the other guy called? The Sokenzan Smelter. But that brings us to the end. We're at the end of the spoilers so far with the Undercity Plunder. This is going to be terrible to play against. Target opponent discards a card. Then, if they may discard an additional card, no, then they may discard an additional card. So, discard 1, and then it'll allow you to choose. And if you don't want the worst thing to happen, which I'll get to, you can then discard an additional card, and the card's text box ends there. So you've just 2 mana, opponent discards 2 is already really good. But then if they don't discard a second card, you get to conjure a duplicate of a random card from their library into your hand, and it perpetually gains. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast a spell. What? Like this in your like Junji, Tergrid / whatever, Reach of Long Night deck. Gonna see some play. Definitely gonna try it out. Definitely gonna be very annoying to play against. That's it for spoilers. I'm gonna just attach on like a quick bonus brew for tonight, just to bring you guys some content, and it's gonna be the Mindlink Mech deck. I've been toying around with it. I've seen everybody's else done it, and I wanted to throw my hat into the ring. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. So the combo, if you haven't seen it already, is Mindlink Mech. Whenever it becomes crewed for the first time each turn, until end of turn, it becomes a copy of the thing that crewed it. Except it's a flying 4/3 vehicle, so it maintains its flying, which is the relevant bit. And people have been trying to think like, okay, what can we copy that can really break this? And Calamity Bearer was the very first tech to come out, where you know, by copying it, that means you now have 2 Calamity Bearers, so the effects stack. And then the 4/4 is attacking for 16 in the air on like turn 4. If you've got the perfect curve, you play this out on turn 3, you play the Calamity Bearer on turn 4, you crew the Mindlink Mech with the Calamity Bearer, 16 damage in the air. It's pretty crazy. Then Saffron Olive, I think, was the first one to do it. It was like, dude, we can equip the Mindlink Mech with the Efreet Flamepainter. It's only got a crew cost of 1. So you got a dual strike 4/4, and you get to cast 2 spells for free from your graveyard. So then you needed to have all those things that put stuff in your graveyard, and you need to put good things into our graveyard that are gonna help us win the game, yada yada yada. And so the deck there was 2 different builds, and I was like, okay. Oh no, and then Hella Good Game did like a Grixis one, which was also really interesting, but I didn't want to go 3 colors. So I was like, okay, let's just take the 2 decks and squish them into one. So I've got both the Flamepainter and the Calamity Bearer. So in case we don't get the one combo going, we've got the other one going. And we've got the cards for the Efreet Flamepainter here at the top end, a full playset of Creative Outburst and a full playset of the Magma Opus. So we're just using these as ramp straight away. Just discard them straight away. Turn 2, put them in your graveyard. Whenever you can, put them in your graveyard, and then they'll be cast for free by the Mindlink Mech equipped, crewed by the Efreet Flamepainter. So that's one win con, right? Discard your Creative Outburst and Magma Opus, crew the Mindlink Mech with the Efreet Flamepainter, attack, get to cast these for free. One does 5 damage to any target, and you get to look at the top 5 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand. Epic. The other one, you know, very well from the Hinata deck, lately repopularized. 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. Tap 2 target permanents, create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token, draw 2 cards. Epic. Win con number 1. Win con number 2 is the Calamity Bearer, and we have ways of compounding this, okay, with the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. It's very slow, but in those games it could go a little longer. Like there's a reason, I don't know, I might find a reason to then trim this card and put in something else that will help the combo go off smoother, maybe a counter spell. So we'll see. We'll probably adjust during, because this card, you can only start making copies on things on turn 6. We're trying to end games sooner than that. But if we do go a little longer, then we can copy the Calamity Bearer and then crew it with the Mindlink Mech and So then we have 3 Calamity Bearers. Then the effect, it's 4 times 3 and boom. Sorry, double. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. It becomes a 1-turn kill, but much harder to set up, again, like I said, because of the slowness. But I've been running it in testing, and it's okay because we get the treasure and all the other little bit of value that it gives you along the way. You know, the discard is good because it allows you to discard the things that we want in our graveyard for the Efreet Flamepainter. So it's been doing its job. Let's see if we end up keeping it or not. And the rest of the cards are just ways to help us get there, right? We've got Fading Hope to make sure there's no blockers in the way, or you know, big threats coming your way, get them out of there. Expressive Iteration to find our combo pieces, Burn Down the House, and Battle of Frost of Fire as a sweeper to make sure that we survive until we can get the combo off. And the nice thing about Battle of Frost and Fire is that if we're going for the win con number 2 through the Calamity Bearer, then our guy doesn't die, but theirs do. And whereas Burn Down the House is just 5 damage to everything, but sometimes I just cast it for its other side and get the little devils and use them to you know, beat down on the opponent. And that's the brew. In the mana base, we got 1 hall, 1 den, some basics, 2 of each of the new legendary lands, some duels, and 2 Fields of Ruins. I mean, that's about as BrewLab a mana base as mana bases get. So guys, I'm heading to Kenya tomorrow, which is why I missed yesterday's videos. First of all, apologies for that. I'm jumping on a plane tomorrow morning, and I'll be in transit and flying all day. It's going to be very harrowing, and I'll be very tired, so there will be no content over the next couple of days while I just get settled into our new house in Kenya and you know, figure out the internet situation and everything. So please bear with me while I sort this out. Rule modified. I know you usually do this on turn 3, but I want to Mindlink Mech on turn 3, so I'm just going to iteration to look for a land. That is terrible. we've got 2, so it's the one I'm the least bothered about losing. We really needed that land. What? Cool, death touch. Okay, we got the 4th land. Combo incoming. The problem is now he knows. He might have some way to kill me with Finn, death touch. But we're crewing already. $16 damage coming through. He's got something. Burn. Frostbite. Oh. Oh. Terrible. And he's gonna have Blizzard Brawl for my Calamity Bearer, probably. No? Okay, thank God we got burned down the house. Probably should have attacked first. Get some damage in. I don't think he would have blocked there. Ooh, spicy. Nice Tamio there. Taking 6. It's no good. We need another Mindlink Mech. See if he's got another Tamio. Oh. Okay. More red. He's got some removal for the bearer for sure. Frostbite. At least we get rid of this bloody Delina. Okay. Double iteration is not terrible. Kiki Jiki in the house. Next turn, Opus. Oh wait, we can do it now, Opus. Oh no, we can't. Oops. By 1 mana. Like, I didn't count the activation cost of Kiki Jiki. So then let's just make a bunch of 1/1s. Getting in the way, put up some chump blocking action. Oh no. Double Opus. Oh wait, now we can go 3 to him, 1 to face, tap lands. Still have 1 mana open to copy the Treasure Maker. Oh, there's the Efreet. Kiki Jiki's so good. Having so much fun with this card. There's still so much, like watching Worlds made me click, you know? Don't concede, please let me do the thing a little bit more. You probably can't believe he lost that. It was close, mate. You did real well removing all of my important threats there. I didn't get the combo off. Alright, I can fit in one more game and then I really must hit the sack. It's 4:20 AM as I'm recording this and I need to get up early and get ready for the airport. I will keep you guys posted with some travel footage. I'll put up a few shorts. Kenya, it's been... Last time I was in Kenya, I must have been like 5 years old. 30 years ago, almost. Alright, last match of the day. We just need 1 or 2 more lands. It's risky, but we can cycle this as ramp. Black Cat. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Again with the snow-covered forests. Okay. Remember, always lead with the mech. You could have artifact removal though. Nice. Can we race him? At least we get to show the combo. 16. You're dead next turn, mate. I've got a backup. We take a lot of damage now, like a lot. I think it's close. We might even lose. Oh, good game. So close. And that's gonna be it. Alright guys, we got the thing to go off. Do I have time for one more? I wanted to try and also do the Efreet Flamepainter. Let's just do one more. That was quick. Very nice. Perfection. Perfection. I can't ask for more than that. And we got the backup plan. Okari. Those are probably poison the cups though, unfortunately. Okay, if we can get him to burn his removal on the bearer. Because we're trying to go for the Flamepainter this time. We might get in for 16 now. But I'm too scared to crew it. There's a... yeah, poison the cup. Told ya. That's pretty terrifying for our plan, because it's just another one, surely. Now we've got a way to save our Flamepainter. If he, or you know, whatever he tries to poison the cup, we can use the Fading Hope. And we got the backup painter. Ooh, yes, please. I would like another Mindlink Mech more than the things to crew it with, but that's okay. Yes, please. Please attack. Okay. probably getting a little too late. Those 2 poison the cups really ruined it for us. It was perfect otherwise. Are you kidding me, man? Like... It's like diversify the threats. So if he's got another binding, he can decide. Hello? Oh, that's freaking great. It's really annoying. Supremely annoying. Containment breach. But he can't attack. If he attacks, then we get to get in with the Flamepainter. But he's got the removal. Unbelievable. Super well played. Another containment breach, probably on the reflection. If he has any removal, we're dead. Okay, thank goodness. Need one more land off the top. Oh, he's got the den. I mean, the cave. I wonder if he's even realized it yet. Game over. He still can activate it. But he wants to try and like why do all of that stuff? Alright guys, almost. I mean, really obnoxious opponent with like a well thought out kind of recursive threat deck. Actually really like that. Seasons Renew? Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all from Kenya with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.